Zombieland Double Tap has arrived, and as of this taping, is coming in at 80% on the Tomatometer. It's been nearly a decade since the first Zombieland movie delighted both fans and critics, and the sequel, according to the critics' consensus, is an enjoyable reunion that recaptures the spirit of the original and adds a few fun twists. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rotten Tomatoes Show. I am Mark Ellis, and I am so excited to be talking about Zombieland Double Tap today. We're going to dive deep into the film, tell you all what we thought about it, and yes, it is a spoiler-heavy talk. So if you've not yet seen the movie, you've been warned. We have a great panel here. These are three people that would really feel comfortable surviving a zombie apocalypse with. So when I introduce you, please tell the audience what your Zombieland name would be. Starting off with, you know her from the Twisted Woman CKR YouTube channel. It is CKR. Chauncey K Robinson is here. Chauncey, how are you?
I'm good. You?
I am great. Your Zombieland name would be?
Newark.
Would be Newark.
Yes.
Okay.
North Jersey.
North Jersey.
Newark.
Newark.
New Jersey.
All right. There we go. So we got to go all the way to New Jersey to find Chauncey.
Yes.
Sitting next to her on her left is, he probably knows the month, day, and year of the original Zombieland release.
Actually, I don't, but I know it was 2009.
October 2nd.
October 2nd.
Scott Mantz is here, and your Zombieland name?
My Zombieland nickname, I am very proud to say, would be Philadelphia.
Okay. Oh, well, good. We're picking up both of y'all.
Just right, 2-hour drive from Newark.
Seaboard. And last but certainly not least, a returning favorite from Rotten Tomatoes, Mr. Alex Vo is here.
Hey, Alex here. I am from San Jose, which is probably about a 30-hour drive from New Jersey.
Cross country.
Yeah. It's about 3,000 miles, because I've made the drive from Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm going to be Williamsburg.
Williamsburg, Ellis.
So Williamsburg's first question for the panel of great cities that we have before us is simply, is the movie fresh? Is the movie rotten? Chauncey, start with you. Is this a fresh or rotten movie?
I think it's definitely fresh. It expands the universe, but it doesn't get away from the core characters that we love, which I really appreciate it.
Very well said. Now, Alex Vo, San Jose, are you going to ratify the...
I'm going to say rotten.
What?
I expected nothing, and I was still disappointed.
San Jose. It's a good thing you're far from Philadelphia.
Yeah, right.
That's all I got to say.
You get these West Coasters.
Some cross-cultural misunderstandings here, I
probably.
think.
So Philadelphia, it seems like you're going fresh.
I'm going fresh. I'm going fresh with Newark here because I thought that the movie just recaptured the spirit and the fun of the original film, and it didn't really expand on it enough, but we'll get to that. But I still had a great time, just like I did with the first one.
Yeah, I'm going fresh as well. I didn't think it was quite as good as the first one, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and there's a reason why they call them the Sharks in San Jose, because we'll see what Alex's thoughts are as we get deeper into the movie. But Scott, I want to kick off with you the first topic, because anytime a sequel comes out, you have two questions that are asked. Is one, does it live up to the original? And number two, was it worth the wait? We've been waiting 10 years for this movie.
Okay, well, I'll do the second question first. Was it worth the wait? I loved the first movie, but I don't know if I was waiting for a sequel. Wasn't a movie where I just went, man, let's go, 2 or 3 years, let's have a Zombieland sequel. But I still had fun with it. And here we are 10 years later. I would say that the movie, it's as good as the original for what it does well with the chemistry, with the fun, with sort of the in-joke moments. It doesn't really expand on it. It doesn't capitalize. It doesn't grow from the first movie. But I still had just as much fun as the original.
Alice, was that your issue, is that it does not grow from the original at all?
I would. That's not necessarily my issue. I would agree with Scott, where it's like asking me, was it worth the wait? That would imply I was waiting for a sequel in the first place. Like, the first one's great. It's fine. But, beyond that, I was like, awesome. Let's move on, or let's do something else. Whereas this one, it's like, the issue for me was most of the movie, they spend separated again. And I was like, I've already seen that movie. It's called Zombieland 1. I just wanted them sort of kind of together and sort of kicking ass, but instead they're being constantly separated by these really specious reasons, I felt.
So a more united crew is what you were
kind of. You got a little bit of that in the first 10 minutes, and then they just start going off on their own again.
Yeah, Chauncey, what I liked is that if you ask the question, was the movie worth the wait? I think we can all agree, we weren't just sitting by the computer waiting for the news to be announced, but I think this movie had fun with that. It started out light and fluffy. It made a joke that there's so many more zombie options that you have now, and then we rip into Metallica, so I think the light and fluffiness actually helped the movie.
Yeah, I thought it, I kind of considered it a feel-good zombie picture. I don't know if that's a thing, but I think that totally is what it was, and I think it was very aware of itself that it had been so long. They were like, yeah, we're back, and we know there's been so much other stuff, but that's okay because, you know, you love Zombieland. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was, I actually think it's better than the previous one.
Okay.
But then again, I didn't watch it in 2009 when the first one came out. I watched it like maybe in the last few years. So I wasn't like anticipating anything. And then I actually liked that they expanded it because I didn't like all the characters in the first one. So it was good to kind of have a different dynamic going on, even though I appreciated the love of the core four. It had, it had family vibes.
There was a lot of family vibes in this movie, and the locations we go to. I did have a lot of fun watching this movie, and it has been 10 years, and you really feel the weight when you look at the actors' resumes. I mean, Emma Stone now has an Oscar.
Yeah.
You know, you see everything they've done, but it felt like as soon as this movie started, we all just settled right back into Zombieland from 2009.
Big time. That's what I loved about the film the most, is that here you have Emma Stone, Oscar winner for La La Land.
Oh, there he is. There he is. We got through one segment before he referenced it.
You know, but that is, but look, she did fit right back into that role of Wichita. Great chemistry with Jesse Eisenberg. You know, and the thing about Jesse Eisenberg, Oscar nominee, he created Facebook as Mark Zuckerberg and the social network. But everyone, you know, Woody Harrelson hasn't changed at all since the original film. I mean, he hasn't changed his look at all in like 20 years. But yeah, that family vibe that you were talking about, the heart, the chemistry, even though they were separate, which I think, you know, you have to change it up a little bit. I thought the addition of the newer characters also added to a different sort of chemistry.
Yeah, and I wanted to move into that for our next topic, Alex, because when you talk about the chemistry that these four have, some of the critics have been saying that they didn't really respond to the new characters that were introduced, that it did take away from the core four a little bit. Like you had some, what I thought were fun cameos from Luke Wilson, Thomas Middleditch. I thought Rosario Dawson was a great addition to the cast. Your feelings on the newcomers?
Yeah, I would agree. Rosario Dawson was a pretty fleshed out character. She had a lot going on. The Zoe Dutch character, Madison. Yes, who spent 10 years in a freezer.
Yeah.
I did not buy at all. People have been talking about how great Zoe Dutch was in the role. I guess she is, but she's great at playing like a shit character. I just could not.
Wow.
Yeah, I could not stand her character at all.
Yeah, potty mouth.
Sorry. And same with that dude introduced for Abigail Breslin's character. That
Berkeley.
Yeah, Berkeley. Yeah, the hippie dude. Yeah, right. I was confused as to how any of these characters survive 10 years or 15 years into a zombie apocalypse.
We're talking about a zombie movie, a zombie comedy.
But what's great about Zombieland 1 is like you have a guy who's like neurotic and very rules focused.
And he still is.
Right, and you buy that he can survive in this sort of apocalypse. Same with Tallahassee, same with these two characters. And when they kind of come together, they work really well. Whereas these two other characters, it's hard for me to buy them in our own reality.
I can understand that point, because if I'm watching Walking Dead, Chauncey, and then somebody's been living in a pinkberry freezer for 10 years,
right? I was like,
this seems like a stretch. But for the tone of Zombieland, I thought particularly Zoe's character stole a lot of scenes. I thought Madison was hysterical.
I loved Madison. I thought she was hilarious, and not just because of the way she played the part, but because it was actually a very strong kind of character, just a different kind of strong we're used to. With she knew what she wanted as soon as she wanted sex. She was like, I have a mission. I'm gonna bite the bullet and screw the old guy if you don't want to do it. She was very direct, and I just thought she was a lot of fun. And I thought it was a good addition to, Nevada as well, Rosario Dawson, because it was, she had a strongness to her, and it was very different kind of women characters at it, which I appreciated.
We do have to talk about Rosario Dawson's character, Nevada. Scott, it was such a breath of fresh air seeing her near Graceland, not exactly in Graceland, but at Graceland adjacent. And she, for my money, is the best monster truck driver I've seen since Gravedigger.
She is terrific in this film. She's a big genre fan anyway, but you could tell that she was having a lot of fun. Great chemistry, especially with Woody Harrelson. I really thought that in terms of adding new characters to this movie, she was a worthy addition to the Zombieland franchise.
Yeah, Chauncey, I mean, for all of the coupling that could have gone on in this movie, I was rooting for Rosario and Woody the most.
I shipped it. I totally was there for them too. As soon as they met each other, and just her being there, and his love for Elvis and her love for Elvis, I want to know the backstory of how she ended up there, why that. She had the same kind of vibe that he did, and they just clicked immediately. It didn't take long. I totally believed the hookup. I guess people, it's zombie time, so they're looking for love. So she found it with him, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, Alex, we're going to talk about our Zombieland future in a little bit here, but I kind of like the idea of a Nevada prequel.
Yeah, right. right. Like, talk about how she got the hotel in the first place, right? Was did she was it a heist where she went to Graceland, grabbed all the Elvis stuff, and brought it back over there, But yeah, I would agree. Out of all the new characters, what she brought out of Woody Harrelson's character and how she was sort of the nexus point where you could bring in Thomas Middleditch and Luke Wilson.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna keep the running joke going with the Zombieland nicknames. San Jose. I do agree that the one flaw of the film about the characters being separate is that when Abigail Breslin as Little Rock was separated from the rest of the core group because she hooked up with Berkeley, that was the weakest link of the film. Was her storyline with Berkeley? It just didn't move the story along. It didn't resonate nearly as much with me as the other scenes with the other characters.
What I thought was how interesting. Little Rock's arc is actually really interesting. It's she would want companionship with someone her own age. And what if that guy that she hooks up with was actually really interesting? The whole time you're kind of waiting for them to split up because you're this guy is
because he's a
lame.
poser. Yeah,
right,
totally.
So, but what if there was actually a challenge? It's what if she is actually better off with these dudes?
But I also thought
Avalon, whatever.
If you're really going to see how much time has passed, I mean, Abigail Breslin has, she definitely has matured into a young woman, and you're seeing her completely different, whereas the other characters look pretty much the same. So I feel like you could have done more with that, and I felt like her character's storyline was the weakest link of the film, but I still liked the film.
Yeah.
I thought that part was a little contrived, but it was because they needed to get them to go on a road trip. If not, we would have been in the White House the whole time, which I enjoyed.
I had a lot of fun in the White House.
That too. But I actually thought it made sense that she'd hook up with a really crappy guy because she hasn't been with anyone for so long. It's well, this guy is kind of cute. So it's she runs off with him. I mean, that's real life.
And then he rips off Bob Dylan. And I thought that joke was so good. And it does make it more convenient for the movie that we all are rooting against this relationship.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah, that's a good point.
We just want to get our core four back. Regardless of what people may say about the Thomas Middleditch or the Luke Wilson cameos, I think we can all agree that kill scene was one of the best in the movie. So I want to talk about some of y'all's favorite scenes, if you have any. Chauncey,
had to rack my brain.
Kick me off with one of your favorite scenes from Zombieland Double Tap.
Well, definitely that kill scene. That was amazing. I liked a lot of the White House antics, and then the Bill Murray scene at the end. The after credits kind of Marvel style, people were getting up, but it's wow, there's something else going on. It was an action scene. I really thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, and as everyone, people, I know that all of us here, you've been in that junket style situation a number of times, and so to see that lampoon, I don't know how people who do not work in the industry are going to receive that, but Bill Murray's in it, so I'm pretty sure they're going to love it.
Well, I just love that they keep the Bill Murray joke gag, the running joke going, and it does have a great payoff. That's definitely one of the best scenes. In terms of zombie kills, I thought the zombie kill of the year with the guy on the farm in the big tractor, munching up the zombie with his machine, and
the Leaning Tower of Pisa kill.
That was awesome. Yes.
Alex, you got to love the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
That was good, yeah.
Come on, San Jose, you got to love it.
So what else stuck out to you? It was oh, okay, well, that's a redeemable quality about the movie.
Yeah, I think the introduction of Thomas Middleditch and Luke Wilson were great, actually. I think those 25 minutes where they're in the movie, that's really came to life. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It really came to life there. Even the way the camera would swoop around as they're being chased around by the zombie version is that was beautiful camera work. I was this is kind of what I was hoping for throughout the whole movie. But I would also agree with the junket massacre at the end, where it's everybody who's sort of gone through that, it could be kind of numbing on both sides of the camera, or on both sides. So just seeing this sort of chaos erupt from it, pretty good.
Quick sidebar. So what was the better Bill Murray scene? Was it the Bill Murray scene from the first Zombieland, or was it this Bill Murray?
This one.
This one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll go with first one.
I'm going first one too. I'm on
because it was so unexpected.
I didn't expect this. Well, the first one was very unexpected,
too,
but I thought, okay, he's done. He got married. He got married.
And I love the reference of getting married.
Yeah, and he's
right.
oh, what are you talking about? Jesse Eisenberg in his neurotic way. But I didn't expect that coda scene, the bonus scene at all. And it was a great surprise. And also seeing, my friend Josh Horowitz it turned into a zombie.
Our friend Grace Randolph was in the post-credits scene.
Oh yeah. No, I thought that was it. That and listen, the scene with the Thomas Middlestitch and Luke Wilson as a Flagstaff and Albuquerque, basically playing doppelgangers, mirror versions of Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson. That scene alone makes the movie worth seeing. That scene alone tops the original. Those 25 minutes is better than the whole original film. That scene was so inspired. It was so much fun. It was so different. And it was the peak of the film.
And what we see in this movie is this new community, Babylon. And so if we have Babylon, then there's probably other communities like this. And I'm pretty sure we didn't kill all the zombies in this post-apocalyptic landscape. So, Chauncey, what could be next for the Zombieland franchise? Are we done after this, or do you think that there's room for another movie? Amazon had a pilot in 2013. Could we maybe go back to a streaming service? Where should Zombieland go?
Well, I'd like another movie. Maybe, one of the couples is, I know this gets like so cliche, but one of them is having a baby or something and having to try to raise a kid in the zombie apocalypse. And I think that would be kind of interesting in a very, because we've seen, one of the great things about the franchise is that it's very aware of itself. It's very meta. It makes jokes. It talked about The Walking Dead. So it's very aware that it might do a lot of the cliches. So it'd be nice to do another movie like that. I wouldn't want a series because I feel like we had a series that was very similar to what they would be, which is Z Nation. I thought Z Nation was very similar in the same vein had the comedy, had the outlandishness. So we kind of did that already.
Alex, is there any room for redemption possibly with another Zombieland, or are you?
Come on, Alex.
I do like the idea. Ruben Fleischer and Jesse Eisenberg did an AMA on Reddit yesterday talking about, one question was, so Zombieland 3 in 2029? They're like, yeah, that's the idea. So I like the idea that this is like the Up series or Before Sunrise, Before Sunset. It's every 10 years you come back and, you see where these characters are. And in a way, it is meta, right? So in the next 10 years, they could sort of comment on where the zombie genre has gone. And they just sort of keep on doing that.
And we could see maybe a child pop up somewhere in there, Scott.
Here's what I want to see in Zombieland 3.
Pitch the other three cities on the panel.
I thought Zombieland Double Tap, it was a worthy sequel, not necessarily a superior one. I loved it for what it was. Okay, but if you're going to do a Zombieland 3, just go for it. Really just pull out all the stops and go for it. Now, when I think of the great movie sequels of all time, I mean, sure, there's Godfather 2, there's Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan,
Secret of the Ooze.
Listen, nothing is better than Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
I knew you were going to work
Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2 was so great because it was a spoof of the original movie. It made fun of the original film. It pulled out all the stops. If you've never seen Gremlins 2, which came out July 2nd, 1990, the same day as Dick Tracy, it is a superior sequel in every sense of the word. And it just was a wild, wacky, crazy, and really awesome sequel. So that's what I want to see for Zombieland 3. Just go for it. There was a little bit of meta stuff, there was a joke about Walking Dead, but really just have fun with it. Maybe Zombieland 3 is about the filming of Zombieland 3.
That is meta on top of meta.
That's what I want to see.
Reality TV.
Do something different, right?
Okay.
Reality TV with zombies I could actually buy into. That's that's a meta sandwich, and we might be here for it. More Zombieland in some capacity is the consensus that I'm getting from my panel, who, by the way, today was terrific. Thank you to my guests, Scott, Chauncey, and Alex, for joining me here today to talk about Zombieland Double Tap. And I would remind everybody out there watching right now, we have some really good news here at Rotten Tomatoes. We have our first book, Rotten Movies We Love. These are movies that are green on the spectrum. So technically, they're rotten according to the Tomatometer, but we love them all just the same. Step Brothers made the cover. Spaceballs is sitting there at 59%. There's so many fun, rotten movies, and you can check them all out in this book. There's 101 of them, as a matter of fact. So get the book, debate with your friends. That's what we like doing around these parts. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Subscribe right here to our YouTube channel and hit that bell. It'll give you an alert every time we have a new Rotten Tomatoes show coming out. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.